High School in historic Wellsburg, West Virginia. WTRF proudly presents Ohio Valley Tonite with Nathan Marshall. Tonight's guest, Marc Harshman.
Welcome to another edition of Ohio Valley Tonite with Nathan Marshall. And tonight I'm joined by children's author, former West Virginia English Teacher of the Year, and current West Virginia Poet Laureate, Marc Harshman. Thank you for coming in, Marc. Really appreciate you coming in.
It's a pleasure, Nathan.
And that's
Good
Marc
to be
with a
here.
C, in case you're wondering. That's the way it should be spelled.
That's right. Don't ask me why my mother did that, but that's it.
She knew you were being original. That's why.
I guess so.
You're also a renowned children's book author, which we talked about a little bit. And you have a book that's called Only One, and it actually appeared in one of my favorite childhood shows, Reading Rainbow, which was really cool.
Yes.
And you've also had some of your books that are published in all different kinds of languages. You actually have a copy of one, I think.
Yes.
Is that Japanese?
Should I bring it up? Yes.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Our Japanese watchers will call us if I've misidentified it, but yes.
Japanese, you have
Yes, I'm pretty
Korean,
sure, yes.
Danish, Swedish. A Swedish chef loves that book, evidently.
Yes, that's right.
So what's more fulfilling as an artist for you? The fact that one of your books is immortalized and filmed forever, or the fact that kids all over the world are reading books that you wrote in your small little space in this small little town in this small little state?
Oh, no, it's that children are reading my books or having my books read to them. That's what really is very special to me.
Yeah.
I think the soul of each of us as children can be nurtured at its richest level, and that is very humbling and pleases me greatly to think that throughout America and indeed throughout parts of the world, my children's stories have been read and shared in just such a way.
Being on Reading Rainbow, did you get to meet LeVar Burton?
Oh, no. I was a review title. The book cover was shown, and
Yeah.
they said this is a good book to read in relation to something else.
That's pretty cool. He always confused me as a kid anyhow, because in the morning of my childhood, he'd be on Reading Rainbow. At
Yes.
night, he'd be Gordon LaForge on Star Trek
Yes.
Next Generation. I'm like, what in the world? And then I went to school, and it blew my mind because he's Kunta Kinte and Roots, and the guy from Reading Rainbow is getting beat. I was so confused. It was like not a good time in my life.
Right. This is a poem for a mother who's lost her son at a young age, and I think the only word we need to know in here is the word sigh, and here I use sigh as a cutting blade.
Uh-huh.
Done with lying and bad luck. If I could tell you the stars knew, that they were for you, could say they were cool fires that would come to you, gather at the mast of your days, a single enduring sun.
On top of all the other amazing things that you've done, though, Marc, you were also a teacher, and you were an English teacher, 5th and 6th grade, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
In your opinion, what is the problem with the American education system today, and how do we fix it?
I'm always careful with my words as
Yeah.
a poet, so I'd hate to say wrong, but I do think that there are real dangers when we rely too much on a top-down approach to education, to teaching. It's been my observation that the handling of school systems is being handled as if the CEO model lifted up as the way to approach education in America. And personally, I think that is simply quite wrong. I've seen that ruin school systems in this very community, and I've seen it destroy communities. Smaller communities that have their little schools run this way, it simply won't work, and we've seen it fail.
I was actually on my lawnmower one day, and I was thinking about education system, because that's what I do in my spare time. Sit on my lawnmower, think about
Nathan has a very exciting life beyond the screen here.
It's a great Saturday night, let me tell you. Don't steer you wrong here. But I was sitting there, and I thought, well, the problem is we have too many bosses. You have a boss, your principal. You have a boss that's your school board. You have the boss that's your superintendent. You have the boss that's over the state. You have a boss that's over the nation. You have so many bosses. I said, no corporation in the world is ran that ridiculous. So, I mean, you need to streamline it, I think, would be a big thing, too.
If I could tell you the crickets here wanted to share with you their simple meal, the green, the dew, a piece of wind, that they had the road to all our dead open through the tangled wonder of this garden. If I could give you their dictionary, their scores, their fiddling beds.
You, of course, hold writing workshops and storytelling workshops. And one of our students here, a senior at Brooke High School, Jess Smith, she had a question about just that.
If I come to one of your workshops, what can I expect to learn?
That's a great question. If someone comes to one of your workshops, what can they expect to get out of this? It's a chance for you to sell yourself, I guess.
Well, no, I don't know if it's selling myself, but it's exciting to think about what can be learned from a writing workshop. And I know in one of mine, I hope that they will feel as if they really had the opportunity to experience writing intensively for the period. They usually run about an hour.
Yeah.
And that for that hour, they will have felt that they really had a chance to flex their writing muscles. Then from there, I often move in this particular workshop I have in mind at the moment through a brainstorming process in which they are able to reconnect with the story out of their own lives and embroider it with the details I just mentioned. And I also, and I need to underscore this, I love to take time towards the end of my workshop to underscore the importance of revision. If I could bow you the old song in the corner there beside the fire, the long ago mornings, the lost ones, the old ones, your mother's hands leading you up in the dark mornings, her hand, yours, ready for the sun. If I could.
Did you? Was that inspired by anybody?
Yes, my brother died tragically at the age of 20.
Oh my goodness.
And well, I was much younger, and and it certainly affected me. But it was for a mother.
Yeah.
You never get over that.
Yes. Again, I want to thank my guest today, who's been West Virginia Poet Laureate, former teacher, author, every single thing you can think under the book, all-around great guy, Marc Harshman. Marc, thanks again. I appreciate you coming in.
You're welcome, Nathan.
And for more information on Marc, you can visit your website, which is?
Oh, my website, www.markharshman.com.
markharshman.com, and that's with a C again.
That's right, with the C.
And for Ohio Valley Tonite, this has been Nathan Marshall.